And it's very rare. I haven't heard of too many films that have a director that's also the cinematographer. Hey everybody, I'm Nick. I'm a director living in Taiwan.
Hey everybody, I'm Luke. I'm a cinematographer living in Taipei, Taiwan.
And today we are going to be talking about A Son, which is directed by
周梦红.
Okay.
阳光普照周梦红.
Yeah, his name has too many words that are similar. I always forget it.
Yeah, you mean
周梦红.
周梦红. So it
it's
sounds
like a tongue twister.
Yeah.
He's a very interesting director because not only is he a director, but he is also a cinematographer.
Right. He did a lot of cinematography, and he usually used his Japanese name as cinematographer.
So if you look at the credits for the film, it looks as if there's a different cinematographer, but that's actually him.
Yeah, he named himself 中岛长雄.
And it's very rare. I haven't heard of too many films that have a director that's also the cinematographer.
You mean Taiwan?
Just in general.
In general.
Like, I can't think of. Maybe people in the comments can let us know. But
Yeah.
Are there any films that you can remember where that has the director and the cinematographer are the same person on the same film?
I think it's very difficult to do because when you operate the camera, you spend a lot of time in doing with this machine, and when you
and then you need to talk to the actors as well.
Yeah, so which is not really someone wanted to operate simultaneously together.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, to go back, what I had heard in like film history was that actually the role of the director came out because originally the camera operators on really old silent films were the directors, but they weren't paying too much attention to the actors.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the early directors were actors that took control of the directing of the movie by like telling the actors what to do because the camera operators were too busy dealing with all the other stuff. So it's like a role that was traditionally split like that, but he has combined it back into its like yeah. So he must be very good at time management.
Right. I heard a lot of story about when he takes shot of movie. Like, he's a freestyle kind of person. Like, the sun's coming out. Let's do this shot. So
cool.
Whole group was just waiting, and then suddenly he's yelling at everybody, "Hey, let's do the job!" And then everybody freaking out, and then do the thing.
Oh, that's cool.
All
of
a sudden,
really cool.
So yeah, kind of freestyle kind of director.
Nice. Yeah, and so this movie, the reason we're talking about it is because there's a recent buzz that it may be up for an Oscar in America for Best International feature. That they haven't decided yet, but there's a lot of people in Taiwan that are, it's a political thing, so you have to lobby for it and send mail to, the right people to try and get votes and stuff like that. So it may not happen, but I think it would be a really good chance for Taiwan if this film is nominated for.
Wow, I hope so.
Yeah.
Which is a glory story in Taiwan. Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, so the film is about a family.
Yeah.
And the name A Son is kind of significant because it's written like a sun, like, sun in the sky, but the family has two sons, and one is a very good son, he studies very hard, and the other son is kind of a screw up.
Yeah.
And he gets connected with gangs and accidentally, is involved in a lot of kind of illegal stuff.
Yeah.
And so the father is very nice to one of his kids and very kind of almost hates his other bad son.
Yeah.
Because he feels like his son is just kind of disrespecting the family.
Right. And also, I feel he doesn't even want to acknowledge he has two sons.
Yeah.
Like,
he always like he has one.
He always told people I has only one son.
Yeah.
So sad. Yeah.
Yeah. And basically, the film is the journey of the father, kind of having to re-acknowledge that the other son, the bad son, is a part of his family and deserves his love and he shouldn't just throw him away.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the plot of the film. And then, as with all good money-making Taiwanese films, it has gangsters in it.
Yeah, right. This time also has gangsters.
Yeah.
It's pretty well. I love the gangster. Liu Guanting the gangster. Really intimidating. I mean,
he's
really scary and really. I buy the kind of gangster. Like,
yes.
wow, when I bump someone like that, I will totally freak out. Like,
yeah.
Really
and so I think that's what it has going for it is, I think that the producers of the film and the director of the film was very smart. They were able to take the thing that they knew would get the financing for the film, which is this is a gangster film, you know, but turning it around and making it very realistic. It's one of the most realistic portrayals of what a gangster would actually be like in a movie that I've seen in Taiwan. And yeah, like you said, the best one of the best scenes in the movie is when the gangster comes and sees the kid at work, and he sits in the car with him, and he's sitting in like this because he gets a job at a cleaning Porsches.
Car washing
and
shop.
so this gangster like forces him to let him sit in the Porsche with him, and he starts smoking in the Porsche, and just basically pushing the line of what he can get away with, saying like, hey, let's take the car out, let's do this, let's do that. And the way they build the tension of like, no, don't do that. You know, you're sitting and you're like, don't let him smoke in the car. No, don't take the car. Don't. It just builds
building,
and you can feel just so uncomfortable. And the way that those kind of manipulative people kind of slowly get you to do what you want, and you can't say no to them.
No. So really nice scene.
Yeah, great
The
scene.
plot is really nice. I believe there's two stories come back together. It's one, we heard someone just jump off the building and kill himself, right?
Yeah.
There's some, we have very strict tax systems. You need to take tax every level, and then in order to get into college.
Yeah.
So which is very stressful. So sometimes you heard some students jump off the building because the test
gives them too much pressure.
Too much pressure. So I believe the director wanted to combine this kind of story.
Yep.
And also a writer, he wrote a book about the metaphor in the movie is called 司马光. The kid found himself in a 水缸 himself, right?
Inside a water.
Yeah, inside water
tank.
He is an old Chinese story. He originally he found another kid is drowned in the 水缸, and he saved the kid.
Oh right, they do an actually animated version of that in the film. Yeah.
But in this movie, there's Arthur told this story totally differently. Like he actually is not finding the other kid; it's him found himself in the tank alone. So it's kind of expression of loneliness.
Right.
So combine it together, then you create someone he wanted to safely hiding himself, but he not able to.
And since you bring that up, I almost wonder if the screenwriters were trying to say that actually there was always only one son.
Yeah.
And so in reality the father only had one son, but the death of the good son is actually not really a real death. It's the turning of the good son into something that he doesn't want, like becoming bad, basically. Yeah. So the death of like the good part of him. Do you know what I mean?
You mean in reality there's
I don't know. Maybe I'm being too arty about it, but I've kind of just because you're telling that story about how the two people are the one person.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the writers of the movie wanted to make a metaphor about like that because there's a really good son and a really bad son.
Yeah.
And they're trying to say that actually everybody has two sides of themselves.
Of course.
A bad side, a good side. And so the death of the good son is the kid kind of getting too far into his bad side of his life. And the reason the father says he only has one son is because he really only has one son.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it too much.
Maybe it's too much. But you know what? When the good son killed himself, he's actually trying to do one good thing for his brother.
Right.
Because when he realized only when he's dead, then his dad
will treat his brother well because he'll be the only one left.
So this is too sad. This is a really sad story. So
yeah, and the good son is like too much pressure to be perfect all the time.
Yeah, it's too much pressure.
Yeah, so actually probably my interpretation is probably wrong. I think they were just trying to
talk
about family dynamics.
Yeah.
In terms of the cinematography, do you have any thoughts about it?
Yes, really nice.
Yeah.
Very
modern, right?
It's modern. You can tell it's taken shot by digital cameras, and also the color grading is so modern.
Yeah, very modern style.
Very modern style. Well, actually, I really wanna if only he used film camera might be better because.
You think so?
I think it's too modern, too digitalized image for me because it's a story about really.
I agree, but I also think that's what people want these days.
It's too clean. I mean,
yeah, but I think that's kind of what people want. Like, especially it's on Netflix right now, so you can watch it on Netflix. I believe it's on the international, like anywhere on Netflix. But I feel like that's what audiences these days want when they see the the thumbnail and the clips from the film. They want that clean.
Right.
At like
super sharp, super saturated.
That's like the thing that like catches people's eyes. So I mean, I could be wrong, but I kind of get a feeling that that's what
he's good at it.
Yeah, I agree though. Like for me, this kind of film, especially it's like a drama. It's kind of like a family drama. It's kind of epic. It spans a long period of time. This is like a film to me. So I agree with you. Like. In my brain, this would look better shot on film, shot with.
Oh, grading differently. I mean, too saturated.
Because nobody shoots on film, but.
Yeah, he can totally. I mean.
Make it more look film.
More film style look, like less saturated and then less contrast. I mean, it's good as when sun's coming, the lighting and shadows coming off, which is very beautiful. But sometimes I feel like. Maybe not really needed to be treated like so dramatic. Like you can lower the shutter rate a little bit. You can play with it with more natural. I mean, flat profile. Yeah, that would be more suitable for this kind of movie because since it's already too much pressure for me for the storyline.
Yeah.
So maybe easier go for the image. Would be easier to take in, but maybe it's okay for this kind of movie. It's all together. It's combining. It's all serves one purpose. So which is also good.
Yeah.
So
let us know what you think in the comments. Do you like that look? That new modern kind of saturated look that a lot of Netflix movies have, or do you prefer kind of a more artistic?
Maybe I watch too much.
I think we do. We watch too much Edward Yang movies here, and too many Hou Xiaoxian movies.
Okay, am I wrong? Okay.
maybe. No, I mean, it's not wrong. It's just like a preference.
Yeah.
I just think modern audiences kind of like that. I mean, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
So, and then the other part of it, though, that I think is a little strange is like, I like all the comedy that he puts in it. There's like a lot of really funny things in it. Yeah. But sometimes the tone of the comedy and the drama, it's like too different. Maybe it fits his theme of like light and dark and really stark difference. But sometimes like the comedy in it is like super wacky, like almost like a straight comedy. Like there's a part where like a guy's running around and like I think it's like poop. He's like spraying poop all over.
Yeah.
And it's like this is like straight out of a comedy movie. And then there's other parts where they're talking about suicide and death and people crying, and it's like very, very dramatic. And so you have these two really really strong choices about the film.
Yeah.
And it's like it's hard to kind of when you're watching it, like, what kind of a film is this? Is this a comedy? Is it drama? No. I mean, I think all good movies have elements of both, but I just think the tone of the comedy is like a little too wacky.
Yeah. I think he just trying to put some humor in it, but
it just doesn't feel like it fits in this world. Like, people are being really serious, and then all of a sudden it's like, poop, blah, 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 I don't know. It just took me out of it a little bit. But I think it's a very Taiwanese style, actually.
Yeah.
Like, the comedy is very over the top.
Rush and tough, and very hardcore comedy.
Yeah. And so, I think it works. And it's definitely enjoyable. So I'm not saying it's bad. Like it's funny. The comedy's funny and the drama is well done. So, it's just his style, I guess.
Yeah.
And as we were talking about on a previous YouTube video, if he does end up getting nominated for an Oscar, that could be a really good highlight of this director and films from Taiwan. So I think it could be a really great thing. So anybody watching this, if you're on the Oscar committee, give a vote.
Yeah.
All right. If you want us to review anything, let us know in the comments. Give us a like, subscribe, tell your friends and family, share our video, watch it on a loop over and over again.
Yeah, just deeply watch it.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.